I hope Larry kept you company again. Speedromizer family, without any further ado, OddKara, mainly Maeve, let's get a great run in today.
Hi everyone, I'm mainly Maeve, she, her. You can just call me Maeve, and I'm running Ghostland Yard.
And I'm OddKara, she, her, and you can just call me Kara. And I'm also running Ghostland Yard.
Whoa.
Wow, wait, you're both running Ghostland Yard? I've run Ghostland Yard. What?
Oh my
What a freaky
God.
coincidence.
Incredible. What a concept.
As I said before, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to teach you, and I'm very excited to get to see y'all in this critical moment, demonstrating what you've learned. That said, Ghostland Yard is beautiful in that it has a speedrun mode. You can go level by level, you can grind ILs to death like these two have, right? You can see one of our runners have been grinding for developer medals over the last 90 days. It's pretty incredible stuff. But that involves a lot of menuing, that involves a lot of cutscenes. We have a speedrun mode in this game, which will show us an in-game timer, it will skip cutscenes for us, and that's just going to be an absolutely beautiful thing, right? So if y'all would both like to select, there are 6 worlds in this game. We are going to play through the whole game, which is all 6 worlds. We are going to include the bosses, and that is the minimum number of levels it takes to get to the credits, hence the any % category. Both of our runners are about to hit start the run, but time will not begin until their first movement, which I will count down in a moment. If y'all two would both like to show us what the very beginning of this world will look like. Couple final words before we get started. In 6 words or less, Maeve, how are you feeling about this run?
It'll be great.
Kara, in 6 words or less, how are you feeling about this run?
I'm fired up, Bob.
Without any further ado, since we have 6 worlds, I will count down 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am incredibly proud of these two runners. They have both optimized level 1-1 and have tied world record. We are about to see 2 runners hit world record. There it is. Level 1-1 is incredibly optimized. All you have to do is hit right and jump. It is a great way to learn how to jump. You will notice a number of different things here. First off, level 2 introduces the color pink. In case you've never seen the color pink before, be very careful, it will kill you. That is a general rule of thumb in this game. If it is pink, it will kill you. We've seen slime, now we're seeing a couple of spikes, but we are seeing our 2 runners expertly dodge these slimes and these spikes with a series of jumps, wall jumps, coyote jumps. There are a number of different mechanics that give you a number of advantages in this game. We just saw our first sequence break of the game, skipping one of the side walls there. You'll notice that jumps can be modulated. Sometimes they are small, sometimes they're large. This is another sequence break here in level 1-7. But what you'll notice when you start to play the game is you can jump very short, you can jump very long, and there are a number of instances where it becomes not just fast, but necessary to learn how to modulate your jump. There are also a series of coyote jumps. That is, if you are running and you fall off a platform, there's still just a little bit of time in which you can still hit jump and get just a little bit further on as a result. The third and final major mechanic that our runners are going to be utilizing is wall jumping. It's not only helpful for climbing up walls slowly but surely, but actually climbing up them a little bit quicker. Wall jumps will get you just a little bit higher than a jump from on the ground, and you'll notice that being taken advantage of in a couple of different places. This game is incredibly short, despite the incredibly large number of levels. There are 126 in the any % run. There are 6 worlds, 20 levels each, plus 1 boss in each world, 126. And World 1 has been thoroughly optimized. if you go to speedrun.com, you'll start to see how quickly these players run through these worlds. And again, I'm incredibly proud of these two. There have been no major shortfalls. They are neck and neck through World 1. This is something that does take actually a lot of practice to really nail and perfect, because one single death can set you back by several seconds. 2 deaths can set you back sometimes 10, 15. It adds up very, very quickly. Both of our competitors are now in Boss 1, and we are seeing our first instance of pseudo RNG. You can kind of guide the boss's missiles here. Once again, you're going to be seeing a number of blobs here. We've got a couple of close calls with this here. And a series of levers. You'll see that mechanic return a couple of times. In many boss fights, you will see those levers need to be triggered in order to open a door, in order to drop an item someplace, in order to activate some mechanic someplace. And it looks like we've had our first major death here today. Kara has made it through Boss 1, and Maeve has reset just in Phase 3 of Boss 1. And what an incredibly inopportune time. So Kara has officially taken a bit of a lead here, and is now entering World 2, where we introduce our new mechanic. We saw slime, we saw rocks, now we have spinning balls of doom on strings. This is where we start to see how cycle-based this game can be, right? And so there are a lot of opportunities in which people will wait to kind of get the right cycle. What you start to find as you practice more and more is you wind up discovering ways in which you can just send it, right? You can move as quickly as possible and get through some of these levels incredibly quickly. Some of the perfect cycles are actually right at the beginning. The less hesitation, the better. There are very few instances where hesitating will get you a better cycle someplace. Now, with that having been said, we not only have our spinning balls on spinning ropes, we have our spinning balls on sliding ropes, bandsaws, spinning roses of death. Those are the 2 mechanics we are seeing introduced in World 2, and each new world that we see will introduce new mechanics. Here, actually, there is a 3rd mechanic, that is bagpipes. Bagpipes, sounding the most epic you have ever heard a bagpipe in your life. Shout outs to the team working on Ghostland Yard, Obelisk Studios. They did a fabulous job creating such an incredible environment in this game, right? I often think about this as a precision 2D platformer. Well, of course, it's a precision 2D platformer. It's not what I think of it. But a lot of people will make a quick comparison to Super Meat Boy, right? Not a bad comparison, but it feels a lot more... Well, I'm just going to encourage y'all to try the game out. It goes on sale pretty frequently on Steam. So you can get a feel for what this looks like. I've heard the comparison Super Meat Boy, but cute. And it's just, it's very, very fun to see. The chat has absolutely been going off. Very, very, everybody is feeling so blessed to be here. Got here Althar. I'm not remembering if Althar is a developer or not. No, Althar, I think, has been a runner. But yeah, good luck to everybody here. Yeah, we were literally half a second apart for a while here, and you will notice there's an in-game timer as well. So there is a real-time attack timer happening right now on screen, so you can see we're only 5 minutes into the game and already nearly through 2 entire worlds, right? With that having been said, this game does run on in-game time. It is timed on in-game time. So if you are submitting to the boards... Ooh, okay, actually, I'm going to point out here real quick. Both of our competitors are getting pretty close to the end here. Maeve is trying for a real tight wall jump here. It's almost pixel perfect on the corner of a platform coming up here. Gonna go up. Yes, there it is. Oh, very nicely done, Maeve. Kara has just completed level 20 and jumped into the boss, probably the most cinematic sequence in the game here. I'm gonna actually shut up for just a moment and let y'all have a listen to some of the sound design here. Some of the screaming from this boss. And it's time for a little bit of elevator music. Dancing to Muzak. Just kidding, it's the Hollywood Tower of Terror. Lightning striking from all sides, a chaotic fall. This is one of the most tricky sequences. Near death, another near death. 2 very close saves here. Holy. Final chase. and we are out to World 3. I think this is a great moment for a couple of donations here. My goodness gracious. $10 donation from Kat, thank you so much, and $50 from Toranite. Good luck to everyone in the race. It's been incredible seeing the progress made in learning Ghostland Yard, and I can't wait for this run and the Apocalypse race as well. So, Ghostland Yard is a game that is near and dear to my heart. I was assigned this game at my first Speedromizer as Maeve enters Boss 2. Good luck to you, Maeve. I was assigned this game last summer, about a year ago, actually, almost exactly a year ago. I played this game for Speedromizer VII, and I would not shut up about it. Eventually, suddenly, a bunch of my friends started playing it out of nowhere. I submitted it for Speedromizer VI and for Speedromizer VII. I was lucky enough to have somebody assigned this game. Unfortunately, for a number of reasons, Batchy was unable to play through to the end. However, what I noticed when some of my friends started playing was, hey, they started playing after the draft. They've had less than 90 days to learn this game. And so we brought them in, still fit with the spirit and the letter of the marathon, less than 90 days to learn their run. Maeve, congratulations. Clean finish for Boss 2. Kara here in World 3 taking a very risky strat, trying to jump around a moving platform that would ordinarily be very slow but very safe. Instead, we are trying to jump around and dodge a number of spikes coming out of the walls. Kara has a
better
habit.
at it.
It happens, especially under pressure. So Kara has, I've noticed both of these runners over the time teaching, many hours, late nights in VCs. Kara has a habit of taking some very risky strats and lines, and it has cost her in the past. Maeve has also been getting very good at attempting some pretty risky lines, but that may be Kara's undoing with those risky strats while Maeve takes some safe stuff to catch up, and they are getting a lot closer already here in World 3, which introduces two new mechanics. Moving platform, actually no, yes, two new moving platforms, two new mechanics, moving platforms and updrafts, which you've begun to notice here. So moving platforms, pretty standard fare. You jump on the thing, it moves you. If you're trying to move against it, it can slow you down, it can speed you up. There are ways in which to get yourself going with those. Updrafts, however, oh boy, updrafts. There are also some side drafts that go left and right. There's some downdrafts that will push you down. But essentially, it's almost a de facto gravity shifting factor, right? And so these things can become very frustrating over time if you are not attuned to them. These probably require more practice than any other mechanic in the game. And you'll see at our penultimate level, right before the final boss, there is a level that requires incredible knowledge of these updrafts and trying to navigate those. Good luck to both of our runners. World 3 has so many updrafts to navigate, which conclude in a boss that many would argue is the hardest boss in the game, despite only being halfway through. Let's take a look here and see. Yeah, Kara trying to beat the platforms up. Meanwhile, Maeve starting to catch up here in level 311. After some struggles, Kara's made it through, but we are only, what, 2.5 levels ahead? Maeve still has plenty of room to catch up here. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat getting excited to run this game. Clearly, there's been a lot of attention on this game since Speedromizer VI. My goodness. Precision platformers can be really difficult, and so anytime we see a mistake repeated, it comes back to I'm seeing somebody has highlighted one of my most infamous clips learning this game. One level where I just could not get a grasp on the exact timing and kept dying on something, going, oops. Oops. Oops.
A really good clip.
Sometimes you gotta admit when you've made a mistake, and then you've gotta admit when you've made the same mistake, and then admit again that you've made the same mistake, and continue admitting that you've learned absolutely nothing until you are shamed into actually learning. No. Here at Speedromizer, we don't do shame unless it's something that you have a little bit of fun with. We try to bring in everybody that we can here, and I do mean everybody. If you'd like to help with future events, running stream tech, hosting, we open volunteer signups before our events. They are announced in the Discord, so if you'd like to type in !Discord, actually I'm gonna do that, but if you want to do that later, now you know how. You can visit speedromizer.live/discord and get in. We are now entering Boss 3. Now this is arguably, for most runners, the hardest boss in the game, right? Because of the updrafts that we mentioned earlier, and because there are multiple mechanics happening at once. You'll see a small laser spinning around. Every time that laser shrinks to nothing, there is a bouncy ball, which is subject to the laws of physics, which will jump out at you, right? There are also big, giant lasers that will track you and follow you. There is a dog that will follow you, for those of you who've played Celeste. It's kind of akin to Battlein. It's a follower enemy, so you can't retrace your steps too soon. This is the boss that usually requires the most practice for runners trying to get to a top level. And it seems here, Kara has just finished Boss 3, but Maeve is already in Phase 2, getting ready to go, and looking like we're going to be through Phase 2 safely. Meanwhile, that wasn't even a risky strat, Kara. What happened?
There's
so
something
sorry.
at the first level of each world.
Yeah, once again, this is judged on in-game time. It's okay to take a breath, but also this is RTA. You want to show off, you want to rush, you want to make mistakes. Let's heighten the drama, gang. I'm so sorry to have cursed you, Maeve. You got this.
It's okay. It's fine.
World 4.
Run around a bit.
Listen, running around is fun. That's what we do. We blow off some steam around here. So, World 4 introduces 2 brand new mechanics, in addition to much, much larger spinning balls of doom on a string. We are also introduced to these slingshots. So you enter the slingshot, you're stuck in it wherever it goes until you launch yourself and continue off in that direction. You'll also notice green slime on the walls. So there are sticky walls. Normally with walls, you'll slide down just a little bit, and then with these sticky walls, you just kind of stay there, right? Now that's ordinarily, you'd think that's fine, that's not a problem, but every once in a while, if you get a little too close to an object or an enemy in your path of jumping out of it, right? That sticking to that slime wall can wind up being an issue. I've seen runners get to this world and wind up hitting the same obstacles over and over because they hit the slime wall at just the wrong place where they have no way out except to throw themselves into spikes. Congratulations, Maeve, completing World 3. We are still in a relatively tight race here, only a couple of levels behind. But these slingshots can be really, really rough. It is really tough to get the timing down quite right. Oftentimes it comes down to muscle memory and response time, right? Even then, it's not perfect. Kara with a huge skip right there over one of our little sticky wall jumps. Maeve, you've got this. See, sometimes you're seeing just jumping around a wall there. This is where you start to see people have to strategize. How are they going to get around walls? Maeve just demonstrated a sequence break jumping into a hidden area where she had collected a soul. That little blue flame that you're seeing on some of these levels, they are not necessary for any percent, but they are called souls. What souls are collectibles that in the main game unlock bonus levels, where a wall of pink slime will chase you through the level and try to make things very, very interesting, especially if you try to collect the soul in the bonus level. There is another category called 126 souls. There have not been nearly as many runs in 126 souls as there are in any percent, which is 126 levels, right? So if you're somebody who likes a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a puzzle, there is a lot more growth and a lot more routing to be done in this game when it comes to soul levels, so please do take a look. Even if it's just a single world run. When I first entered this game, we had 504 individual levels listed on speedrun.com. That has been narrowed down a little bit, so each world of 20 levels is its own individual level. Of course, if you are the type to just grind ILs over and over and over, we do have an individual level spreadsheet that you can look at. You can help improve community times. We've brought the community time for any percent, the theoretical community time, to under 20 minutes. World record is still man, I'm blanking right now in the heat of the moment. I want to say 22 right now, 21, somewhere in there minutes. Some of these runs are just incredible to watch. I would strongly encourage you to take a look. If there's one level that sticks out to you, if there's one world that sticks out to you, go ahead and try it. Sometimes that winds up growing into the entire level. That's what I've seen these two runners do. I've seen them grind individual levels. Eventually, they start grinding single worlds, and now here they are playing 126 levels consecutively. That's such an incredible feat. They'll get a nice little break before tackling the last 20, but boy howdy, they're gonna need that last break. That 126 levels I mentioned earlier, that is not all the levels in the game. There is a second set of levels called the Apocalypse World. So essentially, if you think Kaizo Mario, right? That's the level of difficulty we're looking at with these Apocalypse Worlds. Essentially, some of the levels refactored just a little bit. It's bullet hell, it's spike hell, it's chaser hell, everything. We are now entering our fourth boss, which is probably one of the more unique level layouts in the game. Now, that having been said, this can get a little bit tricky. Those slingshots I mentioned earlier take a lot of muscle memory. Maeve only 2 levels behind. We're keeping this real close here. So boss 4, slingshots take a lot of muscle memory. They take a lot of really solid reaction time. What's happening here is we are dodging bullet hell from this boss, and then starting the slingshots with the lever, and then trying to trick the boss into using the slingshots, because this boss is not very smart. It doesn't know how to use slingshots like we do. It's too big. It winds up hurting itself. Maeve has now entered boss 4. We are only about 30 seconds apart here, which is absolutely nothing when we're talking about estimates of 35, 40, 45 minutes, right? This is an incredibly close race, and I'm really glad to see this happen. We have our death. Maeve, you are officially ahead for the first time in this race.
Let's go! Let's go!
This is it, chat. This is it.
Yeah. So I will say that neither of these runners uses the same strat that I do. There are a number of different ways to cheese this level, in a sense. Just kind of figure out, okay, where's a good place to sit until the boss has, until the boss is ready to jump. And then how do I get to the lever quickly? And then how do I get the boss to enter the slingshot quickly? Because the quicker that lever is activated, and the quicker the boss is in that slingshot, the more optimized the level can get. This level, I thought I had mostly optimized about a year ago. No. You can get a perfect first phase boss defeat every time, but it's the milliseconds between when you get that boss into the slingshot that can make all of the difference. Risky strat, but it looks like it may pay off here. Oh, boss 4 is getting incredibly close.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
And Maeve is ahead out of World 4. Welcome to World 5, the sub-base. Kara not far behind. Oh, but taking a quick death on level 1.
The first levels.
Boy. It's always the first level. It's that adjustment to a new
Just gotta sacrifice that to the gods.
It's the adjustment to a brand new environment carefully developed by Obelisk Studios. It is a beautiful environment, it's beautiful new music, and it is one brand new mechanic this time. There's only one brand new mechanic in World 5, and it is a doozy. That is the multi-jump. You'll notice our runners have started jumping into these little yellow spheres, and you'll notice that sometimes they'll just be in midair, and then they jump a second time. How are they doing that? Those yellow balls give them the ability to jump a second, third, fourth, fifth time, however many they are able to collect. Now you'll notice sometimes they'll grab one and hold onto it and wind up not needing it at all, right? There are a number of sequence breaks that can utilize that. Sometimes the quote-unquote safe strat is to take the jumps anyway. It never hurts to have them unless it takes you extra time to grab them. So you're gonna see, it looks like some diverging strategies on that in this world. But man, the multi-jump, my understanding from the developers, probably one of the hardest things to implement at a technical level. One of the most difficult things to fine-tune and make feel just right. And certainly one of the hardest for our runners, not just our runners here, but runners generally to master. But boy howdy, when you do, it is just one of the most satisfying things you can possibly land, right? So we're just getting to see, okay, now we're seeing some timing, right? We're seeing just, you have to nail timing perfectly in some of these areas here. All right, let's go. Some of these are pretty simple. Level that Kara just completed there. Relatively straightforward. It looks like Kara has taken a lead once more, but still not by all that much. This really is becoming a game of inches. If you had asked me, yeah, oops. This is the level. 114. I have it in my splits. It is named Oops. Maeve will be there soon too. It's all a matter of shooting yourself directly into that first jump to get optimal speed. Did we oops at the end of Oops? Oh no.
I did oops at the end of it. Unforward.
Amazing. Oh, that is quite all right. That means it keeps this race tight. Chat, if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, how this race was gonna go, I would have probably told you, yeah, Kara's gonna kill on the individual levels, but she hasn't practiced the bosses at all. Maeve is going to absolutely kill on the bosses and bring it back, even if she doesn't have all the ILs quite right. But no, Maeve has stepped up on ILs, Kara has stepped up on bosses, and it is pretty much anybody's game at this point for two runners who have, in 90 days, gone from not knowing this game at all to each holding a number of top 10 records and sometimes world records on individual levels. If you do jump into this game, you will notice there are in-game leaderboards as well as IL leaderboards through speedrun.com, but there are in-game leaderboards and you'll see these two pop up on there, and that is, again, just after 90 days of grinding. You don't necessarily have to put all of that time in, but whoo, boy howdy, when you do, it can be really, really satisfying. And that's what I keep hearing, is this is just a really satisfying game to be playing here. Love the little quiet as the game music sometimes comes to an end, takes a moment to come back. It's a little quiet moment of reflection. Kara has entered boss 5. Now this one here, one of the shortest bosses in the game if you have routed it, and boy howdy, there are a number of different ways you can route this here. But you'll notice there are 12 chips in this level. Why chips break glass? Why computer chips make a squid angry? We'll never quite know, right? But looks like we've fallen off the route just a little bit. Ooh, that's okay. Well done. We've entered World 6. World 6 is the final world of the game. It introduces 2 new mechanics. One is switches that turn platforms on and off. You'll see that blue switch changes where the blue platforms are. Sometimes you can use blue switches to turn them off and on and off and on and off and on. Sometimes you can skip blue switches in sequence break, like Kara was attempting to do before hitting that spike ball in the bottom of the pit. That's okay, because sometimes we simply go again. And again, and again, and again. Maeve entering boss 5. Again, it is just a matter of routing, right? You'll watch, a lot of folks will start up top. You'll see some folks favor going to one quadrant than another. Sometimes they'll drop down, sometimes they'll jump up. And certainly there are still new routes being developed and explored. We're getting closer to optimization over time, and one day we'll have TAS, T-A-S, tool-assisted speedrun for those out of the run, out of the loop. But boy howdy, that's going to be beautiful. Maeve has exited World 5 and is now beginning World 6. We are only 3 levels apart here, with 20 and a boss to go. Now we saw our switches. There are blue switches and there are orange switches. You will also see time-based switches come in later. Sometimes you'll see platforms disappear, reappear, disappear, reappear. That is where cycles get really, really important, right? We've already seen it with obstacles that could lead you to your doom, but when you are trying to nail a fraction of a second on a platform to get just the right line on just the right cycle, and you wind up clipping through it before the platform phases in, or it winds up disappearing right before you have a chance to jump, it can be absolutely devastating. And as we said before, maybe not in these terms, death is the biggest time loss in this game. right? Because every time you die, you are restarting a level, and if that level takes 8 seconds to complete, you die near the end, that can be a huge time loss in a category that only takes, for some runners, between 30 and 40 minutes. Are we neck and neck again? We are neck and neck again.
Yeah, I got
this is-
6-5. It was an experience.
It certainly
I
was.
practiced 6-5 today.
See, this is good. We know where our weaknesses are, and we practice. Chat, I haven't said this yet, but this is one of the most important things about World 6-5. There is a friend that we have yet to meet. Her name is Comrade Dog. If you see Comrade Dog, please say hi, Comrade Dog, in the chat. Please say hello to Comrade Dog. Keep an eye on the background.
Comrade Dog.
Comrade Dog is our friend.
Comrade Dog.
So Comrade Dog is one of many fabulous decorations that, again, our team at Obelisk Studios is.
Comrade Dog.
This is actually Comrade Dog. More formally, Laika the space dog, one of the first living beings put up into space. What a nice memorial, right?
It's Comrade Dog.
What a nice honor. But yes, Comrade Dog, baby. Hi, Comrade Dog. Comrade Dog is our buddy. Sometimes you'll see a rock fly through the window. Big rocks can hurt us. Not in the game, just, generally speaking. If you see a big rock flying at you in the wild, you probably don't want to touch it, or you may wind up in the hospital. Chad, please don't throw yourself into flying rocks. You'll sometimes see a xenomorph flying out the window. I don't think they actually exist, but if they do, Chad, if you see a xenomorph, please don't run into it, or you may wind up going to the hospital. Comrade Dog, on the other hand, if you see Comrade Dog will save you. Comrade Dog will make sure that you do not go to the hospital. We love Comrade Dog.
Why does this sound like propaganda?
I mean,
Oh my god.
We love Comrade Dog in this house.
Comrade
Only
Dog is
Comrade
love,
Dog.
Comrade Dog is life.
Comrade Dog loves you.
Oh, we love Comrade Dog. Oh, seeing here, we are seeing Maeve attempt one of my favorite levels, number 14. Now we're up to 15. So this one has a ridiculous sequence break that I don't think either of our runners are attempting today. Which
I've only
involves
done
skipping the
it
entire-
once.
It's hard.
I've been playing this game a year, and I've also only done it once. The sequence break winds up skipping the entire right half of the level, which is just absolutely incredible to witness. It is also, if it's not frame perfect, it's dang close. Now, what I will say is my knowledge of the game on occasion falters because the developers are French, and every once in a while a language barrier gets in the way. However, I must say they speak much better English than I do French, and big shout out to the developers for being so welcoming, and to the community at large for being so welcoming to the Americans muddying up the bottom of their boards. It's been a real amazing experience watching this game grow. If you ever have questions about what's going on, we're more than happy to be of service in the Ghostland Yard Discord. You can find the link there through Ghostland Yard on speedrun.com, speedrun.com/GY. We are coming real close to the end here. That was level 619 by Maeve, and soon level 619 by Kara. Nice little calm jaunt through the wind before 620, one of the hardest individual levels in the game, and you'll see why.
I don't like it. Okay, 2/3
Say
of
more
it
words.
I love. 2/3 of it I
try.
love. This last bit, I always feel like the cycles are different, and I don't understand it.
Kara is through,
Anyways.
Maeve is now through. Difference of about, 10 seconds tops between these two jumping into the final boss? Now, boss 6 is an absolute nightmare, right? Boss 3, many will say, is arguably harder because of the random bouncing balls getting caught in updrafts being unpredictable. But boss 6 also shoots balls. Boss 6 also has a number of updrafts. There are 2 sequences to each phase. One is a room of obstacles to navigate. The other is a maze inside, which Kara has just failed, and Maeve has also just failed. Both of them are back at the beginning of phase 1.
Amazing.
We are
tied
we are
up.
now officially
It's no
neck
longer
and neck
tied up.
again. Wow, this is incredible, gang. This is really something else. So, the first phase includes a number of platforming-based obstacles, and Kara has just failed to capture all of the jumps which are necessary. It is possible. The very
I'm not
end
going
of
for
this.
the frame perfect jump.
Yeah, this Yeah, I was gonna say this first sequence, I'll call this one in the walls, and then there's one that's in the machine. In the walls, this last sequence of jumps is pretty easy with 2 multi-jumps. It is possible with 1 multi-jump if you can nail it frame perfect. And these mazes, on the other hand, these mazes will take every ounce of your ability to wall slide. I did talk about 3 jumping mechanics earlier, but there's one I did not talk about because it is rarely relevant until this final boss. That is holding your jump will also enable you to continue sliding up a wall after you have landed on that wall. And so the mazes often require mastery of that final ability of being able to slide up a wall on a jump. Kara is restarting phase 2. Maeve is just completed. We are back to being just about neck and neck again. Maeve ahead by like maybe a second or 2. This is incredible to witness. I'm really pleased with this. I gotta say, y'all have just done an incredible job. I believe this glitch has been worked out, but at one time there was a glitch where the door that closes behind our runners there would stick. Alright, I'm actually gonna unmute both of you now, because your music is gonna be mostly in sync at this point. Both died into the maze in phase 2, and we are still neck and neck!
Holy
God. Oh my God.
You guys, we're not throwing for content. We're just
I'm not
this
sandbagging,
bad.
trust me.
We're just this bad.
Okay, I see you. Just to be clear here, Kara bopped my PB in her first full any percent run, and Maeve has gotten incredibly close to bopping my PB. So I wouldn't call that bad. I would call that, like, just very good for the amount of time y'all have put in. Seriously. And y'all have put in a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Why are we synced?
This is kind of crazy.
This is incredible.
All right, now I hang out by our space comrade Doggo over here, because it's my usual safe spot. Okay.
Comrade Dog is an incredible safe spot. It's even safe for Comrade Dog. I did say Comrade Dog would save you. Comrade Dog gets to shoot with the laser? No problem at all.
No problem. Takes it like a champ.
So, time is when, at the end of phase 3 maze, at the end of the third maze, Poe will jump out of the top of the robot, B055.
Please forget his name is Poe, I'm not gonna lie. Oh.
No, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Poe, our little blobby friend. So when Poe jumps out of the top of the computer, that is time. Now, I believe we are waiting for our second runner to finish before we call time for our tech team. But the in-game timer will stop and you'll see it go. Yeah, this is absolutely incredible, actually. Now, I will say it actually looks like Maeve is 10 seconds ahead through in-game time. So, this is fascinating. I'm having a grand old time watching this. My goodness, chat, what are your predictions? This is maybe I'm gonna be so real, I did not expect, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know if it would be close or not, but if it was gonna be close, I had no idea it was gonna be this close.
Come on.
Let's see what happens. We are getting immensely close. We've got a prediction that Kara might take RTA, but Maeve gets in-game time. We'll see. Maeve is entering our third maze once more.
No, I missed that same jump again.
Oh my God. I'm gonna be real. I'm making mistakes I've never made. This is what live does to you.
And this is why you tune into Speedromizer, chat.
That's
you get
television,
to see things
maybe.
We'll do it live. Frick it, we'll do it live. Just an incredible show being put on here. We're watching. You know what it is, chat? They're waiting. They want to see more donations come in. They're stalling to see just a little bit more matched. We've seen $60 come in. The next 13 Canadian dollars are still getting matched by yours truly. I'd love to see $146. Maeve, congratulations. 34
I promise I'm not sandbagging.
Sandbags are fun because you can hit your friends with them. chat, disclaimer, if your friend comes running at you with a sandbag, do not run in their path. You will go to the hospital. Please see Comrade Dog instead. This boss really is a mess, especially the very last couple of seconds here. Get ready on time. Time. 34:58. So in-game time separated by 48 seconds. Absolutely incredible show put on by Maeve and Kara here. Congratulations. How you both feeling?
What?
I feel
I'm
good.
flabbergasted. I feel fired up, Bob.
There we go. The switch up. The switch up. That's a
the
real
sky's the
PB
limit.
for Maeve, right?
Yeah, that's a real PB.
We love to see a
like-
Speedromizer PB, baby.
Let's go.
Oh, absolutely incredible job,
That's it.
you two. This was way beyond my wildest hopes for this. You will notice that I had an estimate of 55 minutes. When I first was given this game, it was crunch time, and I only got my estimate down to a sub 40 for the first time about a couple days before stream. Y'all were hitting close to 40, 3 weeks ago, and you've just continued to bring your times down, going 48 seconds apart in-game time. Real time coming in at 37:11. Absolutely unbelievable job for both of you. Y'all need a sec real quick before jumping into Apocalypse incentive run here?
I could jump
Ready
in.
whenever.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what? I lied. I need a second to just mention how fabulous Speedromizer has been and what we are raising money here for. I did mention still the next 13 Canadian dollars to come in. I'm going to refresh here just to make certain I'm not missing something. The next 13 Canadian dollars to come in will be matched by yours truly. So instead of 73 Canadian dollars, it's 146. That is for all 146 levels. You've seen 126 of them. 20 of them are still coming up here on Speedromizer, and your dollars are going further to local centers with community. QMUNITY's mission is to improve queer, trans, and two-spirit lives through support, connection, and leadership. They envision vibrant, diverse, and celebrated queer and trans communities where individuals are empowered to live their lives fully, free from discrimination. Thanks to your support, Speedromizer family, QMUNITY is able to ensure that no one in British Columbia gets left behind. Thank you so much for all of your donations. Do not forget, ! donate in the chat, speedromizer.live/donate. The next 13 Canadian dollars to come in get matched. You can put just a little bit more cash towards seeing cutscenes in Spider-Man next weekend. We are doing 2 weekends of Speedromizer this year. Speedromizer VII has 2 weekends. We are nearing the end of our first weekend, but by golly, we certainly have taken it out with a bang, and we have one more exciting run for y'all. I did mention earlier, if y'all too want to start getting set up for that, I did mention earlier what's called the Apocalypse Worlds. So, when you have completed... Here we go. When you've completed the game, you unlock what are called the Apocalypse Worlds. There's a cutscene that plays that explains here how we get... we're probably going to be looking at what happens is the world essentially is thrown into chaos by the powers that be that threw all of this pink slime everywhere, and now it is really everywhere, as you can see already. The music has gotten far more intense, the danger is far greater, and Poe will scream upon death because we are just getting that serious, right? And so these worlds can be very, very tough, but if y'all have any guesses, I believe I set the estimate at 10 minutes. I believe I set the estimate at 10 minutes for this world. I know both of y'all have blown that out of the water. Where are your, where would you say your PBs are right now for this?
I think my PB's around 6-ish minutes, vaguely. I know Maeve's is better.
Yeah, my PB is just under 4 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, again, my estimate was at 10. Y'all both are blowing it out of the water. Once again, Maeve with another opportunity to crush Kara, who's probably set more IL world records. It's all a matter of difference in strategy and figuring out what it is that you're gonna do. I'm so proud of the both of y'all for doing this here. I'd still say an estimate, maybe then at 8 minutes, but I think we can do this. I think this is going to be an incredible run here with Apocalypse World 1. Y'all two ready?
Yes.
Yes.
20 more levels, and again, $13 more. You have until our second runner hits time. Oh, okay. Well, we've certainly hit it at this point. Real quick before we get started, a $68 donation from Aged Water. GG. Here's a donation for both Maeve and Kara's 34. It's $68 for 34 and 34. Here's a donation for both Maeve and Kara's 34s. Fantastic any percent race. Thank you so much. And from the other Tara driving the bus, Tarawa, thank you so much. Tarawa says hi. Hello, Tara, with another $10 donation. Thank you so much. It's very funny, the community that all of us share. Anyway, I'm going on and on. Gang, y'all are lovely. Y'all are so good. I'm so glad that we get to be here sharing this time tonight. I'm feeling so blessed. How blessed are the two of you feeling as you stare death down in the face?
Incredibly.
Yes, very much so.
Well, with that, I guess there's not much left to do except fear death and do the thing anyway. Gonna count it in if our tech team is ready with the timer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. And chat, I do mean keep an eye out if either of our players dies, and it will happen many times, surely. Enjoy Poe screaming. The scream of the most painful, agonizing death you've ever seen a tiny little blob experience. It almost makes me cry a little bit. If any of you have seen World 1 before, or if any of you play the game later, you'll start to recognize some of these layouts are familiar. The layouts in these levels are extremely similar to the World 1 layout. Some of them are direct inversions. I am in the heat of the moment, and I am forgetting precisely which level. I want to say 114. There is a level where you simply jump down. You fall with style, and you land on the door, and that's it. 114 in this, if my number is correct, you have to jump up from where you left the level initially to the top of the level, except this time there are a million more squirters firing bullets at you. There are a million more rocks to dodge. The Apocalypse worlds are brutal and unforgiving. Just an absolutely devastating force of nature. I'm seeing pleading in the chat to not kill Poe.
I'm trying.
You're not trying hard enough. Who do you think you are, Comrade Dog? You can't save him. Anyway. I'm so sorry. Never miss an opportunity to propagandize for Comrade Dog. No, Poe is a very nice ghost. We never actually talked about the storyline of this game. It's a series of dialogueless cutscenes. It seems that Poe's friends, family, a number of similar-looking blobs, are investigating the mystery of all this pink slime and pink rocks entering the world when suddenly they are abducted by a pink vortex that draws them in. And so Poe is the only one who is not at Ghostland Yard, the detective agency. See, there it is, roll credits. Detective agency called...
Agency.
Oh, that's what it stands for. Oh my god. We were talking about that ahead of time.
Wait, what stands for Ghostland Yard?
On the title screen on the building of Ghostland Yard, there are initials of GYD. And we know the G and Y is Ghostland Yard, but what's the D for? And we finally find out detectives or detective agency or whatever.
Chat, I have not shut up about this game for a year, and our runners who have been playing for less than 90 days just unlocked new lore live on stream.
Yeah.
My goodness golly. But yeah, if you check the boss levels, our 6 detectives from Ghostland Yard are hanging or swinging from various cages until you defeat the boss. And when you're not playing on speedrun mode, you see a cutscene of Poe freeing them from the cage, and then our friend opening up a portal to the next world. You see the cutscene that explains how we got to this big pink mess. Man, it really is just such an incredibly charming game. I'm seeing in the chat Ghostland Yard. No, Ghostland Yard detectives. Anyway, I'm sticking with detectives. That one's fun. Oh, although it is also very fun to just Ghostland Yard. It's the counterpart to oops, just duh.
Just
Ghostland Yard. Duh. What does GYD stand for? Ghostland Yard. Duh.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say, on the one hand, I want to let y'all focus, and on the other hand, I know that y'all yap even when you're going, and it's quite entertaining. If y'all have anything you're saying as
I am very scared. It is the
Fear.
apocalypse, and I am fear, yes.
honestly fair. Chat, how are we feeling about this apocalypse world? How are we feeling about what the other... I mean, if this is what World 1 looks like, how would we feel about where the rest of these 6 worlds would look like? Now, there is actually there are 3 main categories for this game. If you visit speedrun.com, there's any percent. There's 126 souls, which I mentioned earlier. Includes collecting all of the souls in 120 levels, plus the 6 bonus levels. The final category, which I actually need to double check. I don't think anybody has done it yet. I haven't checked in the last week. I feel like a very bad mod. Nope. So all levels. Nobody has run as of yet. The all-level speedrun consists of all 120 main levels, all 6 bosses, all 6 bonus levels, and all 120 apocalypse levels. That is for a total of 252 levels. Now, you don't have to collect all the souls in all levels mode, thankfully, but even just that, it is a grueling run. Seeing here, Mathrice did a run, but did not submit. Mathrice has held so many world records at this point. It's been fascinating watching the records for this game change. When I entered this game a year ago, the world record was 26 minutes, and I was 3rd place with a 36. Now, at this point, in any percent, I've been bopped down to number 18 out of 20 runs on the board. World record is down to 2104. We are very close to nearing sub 21 for this game. And really, the biggest thing is just deaths and resets. I'm not sure if it's happened during the Apocalypse Worlds, but you may have noticed a couple times during the main run a reset that happened without a death, where the screen just goes black and then we go back to reset, right?
No way.
No way!
Holy.
I was not ready for that. My goodness gracious. Once again, a 7-second separation.
That's crazy.
Maeve with a 602, Kara with a 609. Not even
crazy.
6.5 seconds. Absolutely unbelievable finish, you two. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Ah! Chat, scream with us. Ah! No!
I'm heavy breathing right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
as you should be. My goodness gracious. We absolutely love seeing the... Oh my god, 6 minutes. Unbelievable job. I know, Maeve, you've PB'd with something close to 4. Kara, you're pretty close to... Is this PB for you?
Probably, realistically. I haven't kept track that much of the apocalypse yet.
That's okay. Maybe it's
Yeah,
time to
she
start keeping
says.
track. Yeah, exactly. Well, let me see here real quick. We're looking at, if we go to individual levels here, Apocalypse World 1 base levels. Yeah, no, Maeve's got a 345, but Kara, that's still number 3. That's still number 3. Submit. Chat, if you haven't,
3 out
if
of
you're
3.
feeling... if you don't feel like 126 levels is something you can commit to, you can commit to 20, you can commit to just a boss or just a bonus level. You can submit ILs that way, right? I think 20 levels is a great way to start with this, but just an absolutely fabulous, fabulous time by the both of y'all. Fabulous job over the last 90 days practicing and putting on one heck of a show. I am incredibly proud of both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to watch this, and I'm excited to see more of y'all in the future. Speaking of seeing y'all in the future, let's start with Maeve. Where can the people find you here?
You can find me pretty much anywhere at mainly_Maeve. I'm sure you can see it on screen. I'm on Twitch TV. I mostly do Spyro there, though. But maybe I'll do some more Apocalypse World 1 stuff there.
Ooh, looking forward to that. Kara, where can the people find you when you're not playing on Speedromizer?
You can find me on twitch.tv at OddKara, and it's OddKara most places. I mostly speedrun Spyro 1 any %, but occasionally I do other Spyro or Crash games. But I've been having a lot of fun with this game, so I'll probably keep going, try to push my time lower.
It's been very fun watching the crossover between the Spyro community and Ghostland Yard just kind of collide the way that they have. And certainly watching Speedromizer bring so many of our different folks together into games that they would have never expected that they were going to be playing, and watching everybody just kind of grow and have a great time and put on a great show for a great cause. It's been amazing. Kara, Maeve, thank you both so much for joining us here today, and for bringing day 3 to a pretty fabulous close. We got just a little bit more for you here. I think our buddy George is waiting in the wings with a couple of words as well. George, if you are ready, then I think it is time. Speedromizer fam, been lovely seeing you. See you for just a few more moments.